Hello, everyone. Today makes the 19th day here in Parma. Still like it here. It's still quiet, still peaceful. Um, we have met some of the neighbors. Some are nice, some are not. I'm in the process of trying to get my autistic 3-year-old into preschool. Since he has special needs, he is quite capable of going to school at 3. He does not have to be potty trained due to the fact that he has a disorder that causes autistic children to be potty trained late or never. Everyone probably is looking like, what is autism? Well, autism affects the brain. It's a neurologic disorder. It affects the communication, mobility, just any way for information to go into the brain, it goes in differently. Autism affects speech. Some autistic children are mute. They're nonverbal. They do not speak or will never speak. They might not even say any words at all. The most that they might be able to do is grunt or make an odd noise. Daniel's speech has improved in the last year. He is more capable of now putting more than one word together, or more than 2 words together, sorry. He is also able to put some in sentences. He knows some basic directions. Some things he will stand there and look at you like, Mom, I don't know what you're saying. It affects the mobility. Some children makes them clumsy, stumble a lot when they walk, run, skip, jump. Some are not able to do those sort of things. Some I've even seen are in wheelchairs. They are not capable of walking at all. Or some can't, and they have such a sensitivity to the gravity of the ground, to their feet, that they prefer a parent to carry them. It also affects the food. A lot of children who have autism has eating disorders. I have been researching a lot since Daniel been diagnosed at the age of 2 that some parents took a lot of dairy and gluten-free out of their diet because of bowel issues, inflammatory of the body, different things with the brain. Some gluten and dairy products affect certain autistic children differently. Daniel's dairy intake, I would say, is 80% of his diet. He loves his milk. He loves his yogurt. And he does eat some gluten stuff like pasta, things like that. Daniel has very little to none meat in his diet because he gags on meat. They have texture issues. Like some adults that are non-autistic might not like pudding, how the texture is. Some people don't like how mashed potatoes are. Just different little things out there that affects your eating. Me as an adult, I have some eating issues. So I kind of know how Daniel feels when it comes to food intake. Daniel's favorite foods are mashed potatoes with beef gravy. He prefers beef gravy over chicken. Macaroni and cheese, spaghetti, Italian pasta with like the Italian dressing on it. He likes crackers, like Ritz sour cream and onion crackers, cheesies, Cheetos, yogurt, Fruit Loops, about every type of cereal out there he can pretty much eat. Soft cookies, soft serve cookies, ice cream, Reese cups, anything soft. He is to a stage where he should be eating a lot more like chicken nuggets and french fries from McDonald's and stuff like that. But he is more on a 2-year-old's level than a 3-4-year-old's level, if anybody understands that. Daniel does do a lot of things similar to non-needy children, like he doesn't get his way, he will have a tantrum. Just things like that. Another thing, he has no fear. When he was born, he never cried. I laid there after being cut open after 13 hours and was like, why isn't he crying? Is something wrong? Was he stillborn? Was something wrong with his vocal cords? What was really wrong with my child of why he was not crying? After a while, he still never cried. When they took him into the nurse's station, the nursery, they gave him a shot and took blood. Never cried. Never cried. Never even flinched. The nurse stuck him with that needle. My family, who was there with the biological father's family, just thought that it was odd that he did not cry or flinch or even made a disturbance when the nurse poked him with a needle. Throughout Daniel's baby time, I just thought he developed a little bit late on certain things, but a lot of people were like, some children are behind, Kate, just give him some time. He might be a little behind now, and then he'll get up there and he'll just keep going. Well, he hit a lot of his milestones right on the money. Some things that were odd was he would go days without eating. I would offer him baby foods, different types of baby foods. I mixed different baby foods. I experimented with different things. Some things he would eat, some things he wouldn't. Then it became days and days and days he wouldn't eat, and it just scared me. And being a first-time mom, you're scared as it is, nervous that you're going to make a mistake. I started noticing Daniel doing odd behaviors, like staring off into space, and it'd take me a little bit of time to get him back, and he was really young. I started notice him flapping the wings, as they say. It's basically arm flapping like a bird, like this. He does with both of them, and he seems to do it when he's excited. He started doing that at 6-8 months old in a bouncy chair. He would start doing that and get that chair going. I mean, it would be going. He did not crawl at all, like none. He skipped crawling all completely. And he would pull himself up, but he would not walk. He would not do any of that. Then it was like one day he forgot how to pull himself up. He would start doing things and then quit doing them, like he was doing patty cake, and then he'd stop doing it. He was starting to call me mom, and he quit doing it. There's just different things like that they will do, and then they will stop doing. So you have to keep on them. You got to keep repeating yourself. I repeat myself tons of times a day. I even catch myself repeating myself to to other people, and I don't need to. So it was just so many things that didn't seem right to me after me being around so many children, even children who had disabilities. I just thought that things were odd with him, and like I have said before, I've took him to 2 pediatricians and they failed me. I even had a pediatrician say how cute it was that Daniel was flapping his wings like a bird, and I told them that this isn't just because he's mocking a bird. It's something else. He does it during excitement. They would not even take a guessing that let's see if he does have autism. Nothing. It was just no help. I went to a family physician, just a family physician that does common cold, give you cough medicine, and I explained some of the things that he was experiencing, like with the speech and the feeding and just different things, and him being scared of certain things and lights, sounds. It affects autistic children in a way that it's like killing them. Like to us, oh, that loud sweeper, we just cover our ears. To an autistic child, they can't cover their ears. It's deafening. It like drives them insane. Daniel's meltdowns, now that he's gotten older, are a minimum. When me and his father first separated, he started having meltdowns, to where I would have to restrain him like this. He'd be here, I'd have to restrain him, and I would have to sit there and rock a lot continuously and tell him, it's okay, Daniel, it's okay, Daniel, shh, it's okay, Daniel, it's okay. And after a while of doing these things, the rocking, the soothing, and getting him to feel comfortable with his new environment at his grandmother's, he quit doing that. He has not done a meltdown like that to where I have to restrain him and rock him, I'd say over a year. He's starting to recognize people. He's not so scared of people. He's more of a ladies' man than a man's man. But he likes certain men, like his stepfather, his grandfather, people like that. But I will tell you that autism is a journey. I am continuing on learning every day about it. I also do a lot of research online. I read books. I even go on to Autism Speaks. I even go on support groups of other autistic mothers or sisters, as you call each other, about children, their own autistic child. Some of the things that ran through my head were like fears of where he's going to be in 20 years. Is he going to be able to bathe himself? Because he cannot right now. He is highly petrified of water on his head. So bath time is very emotional for him. I also thought, could he be able to feed himself, be able to pay his bills, be able to go to the grocery store, the doctor? Could he even be able to support himself as a job? I have thought all these things, and a lot of things have triggered to where a home. I don't want to put Daniel in a home. That isn't right to him. He shouldn't have to go to a home. Another thing, I just, wonder, because a lot of people like their privacy as an adult. I don't want to be in my 50s, 60s and bathing a 20, 30-year-old man who has been through puberty and things like that, and be wiping his butt and feeding him and bathing him when he should be able to do it himself. They told me that Daniel would be having to go to therapy for the rest of his life, even as an adult, unless something neurologically happens to his brain where he has no longer autism signs. They have told me that his autism could be little to none, or it can reverse and be worse. You have to constantly repeat yourself, like I said. You have to constantly be on him. You have to constantly ask him things. You got to keep repeatious. But the biggest thing as an autistic parent, and I think a lot of other autistic sisters out there would agree, patience is the key. You have to be patient. If you are not patient, you cannot be an autistic parent. My patience has grown a lot since Daniel's been born. A lot of parents may have, in the beginning, discontinued on what they were doing, went on a maternity leave. After they were done with their maternity leave, they put the child in daycare, or they let the grandmother watch him or her, whichever, you guys could get continued. Me, on the other hand, I did not have a job when Daniel was born. I didn't have much going for me when Daniel was born. So Daniel's used to me being around a lot. He is highly attached to me. I am not able to go to the bathroom unless Daniel attends, and if he cannot come in, he will cry and scream at the bathroom door. He will not stay with anybody unless it is his grandmother, which she is almost 3 hours away from here, 152 miles away. But when we did live with her, she kept him a lot, and she was like his second mother. Me and her have also discussed that us moving up here was a good thing in a way for him, due to the fact that he had a lot of distractions, at my mother's home. Meaning he had 2 other adults, he had animals, dogs, cats, just a lot of a lot of things coming in and out, and he just wasn't doing what he was supposed to. So we just thought that it was best that this move happens. We were worried that it would set him back, that he wouldn't speak, it would affect his speech, would affect everything that we have accomplished within the last couple of years. But it didn't. He is still talking up a storm. He is eating still. He is still going to the bathroom. That's another thing that autistic children have problems with, is going to the bathroom. Some children get highly constipated, which could be due to the child's diet. Daniel got highly constipated shortly after I left his biological father. He got so constipated that every time he would pass a bowel movement, he would scream, he would cry. There would be a little bit of blood in his diaper. So I took him to the emergency room where they gave him laxatives. And after an hour or two of being in an emergency room, he passed a bowel movement. When he passed the bowel movement, his bowel movement was the size of a baseball. So you would think size of a baseball is about yay big. He passed that out of his butt. It scared the living crap out of me. So the doctor just continued on telling me, give him Miralax, give him Miralax, give him Miralax. Well, as I started watching other people's blogs or reading, colostomy bag scares me. A 3-year-old with a colostomy bag because he was not able to go to the bathroom. It really, really scares me. His potty training has not really been effective due to the fact that he is not interested. I don't feel that he's ready yet. He sometimes tells me he goes to the bathroom, but sometimes he does not. But he, out of all of the good and the bad in Daniel, he is a very loving, affectionate little boy.
Candy?
He will hug you. He will kiss you. He just loves the affection. He loves to be loved. I am going to tell everybody to have a good day. I will be back with my blogs and continue on telling the world about my story. Have a good day. Bye.